I got an idea for an experiment.
The Irrational, next Monday on NBC and streaming on Peacock.
Read the file, find something, anything.
You're tense. It's a missing child, isn't it?
I need you to search for trafficking chatter. Trafficked? Are you serious?
Get me out!
Found, Tuesday on NBC.
WNKY News 40 Weather wants you to join our team. Become a weather watcher at WNKY.com. You can connect directly with our team. Plus, your photos and videos will be featured in our weathercasts.
Presented by JB Electric.
Football Frenzy is back in South Central Kentucky.
WNKY News 40 is your home for high school football. The most schools, the most highlights,
The most coverage.
Catch Football Frenzy Friday nights at 10 on WNKY News 40.
Good Monday evening. Welcome into News 40 at 10. I'm Chris Allen. It's been a glorious day. We've had just a few high clouds passing by from time to time, but of course no rain coming from those clouds, and we don't anticipate anything coming from those clouds tonight. And it will be generally warmer thanks to a southerly wind at about 8 miles per hour. We're only calling for a low of 53 under a partly cloudy sky. The rest of your 7-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us tonight for News 40 at 10. I'm Morgan Hoover. The discovery of species that are millions of years old is providing so many people with a fun and educational experience. News 40 reporter Carlisle Coppins has more on the story.
To celebrate National Fossil Day, Mammoth Cave National Park is spreading the knowledge and helping others discover the value of fossils right here in Kentucky.
Fossils are great clues about how ancient things used to live in the past. So most people, when they think of fossils, they think of dinosaur bones and then maybe shark teeth and things like that. But there's a whole record of different things that used to live in ancient times.
Hundreds of these great sources are being discovered by local volunteers.
The fossil inventory is the one that has really just taken off in the past few years. Kelly and I and other people on the team got better and better at it. Then we got to do more and more. Almost everywhere we went, we found new fossils.
Paleontologists recently discovered a shark tooth inside of the cave. To celebrate, the park unveiled the new exhibit dedicated to that species.
We recognized the shark from the teeth that we saw in the photographs, and it belonged to a shark called Cyvodus. And up until that discovery, all we knew about Cyvodus was just from teeth. So it was a game changer for us for that discovery.
This discovery of close to 1,000 species is motivating researchers to do more and to keep searching for more fossils.
And we started what's called a paleontological resource inventory here at Mammoth Cave. And we're trying to get an assessment of like what kind of fossils occur within the park boundaries. And so we were going into deep in the cave, and we're finding that Mammoth Cave actually has one of the greatest fossil shark records, probably anywhere in North America.
In South Central Kentucky, because local matters, Carlisle Coppins, WNKY News 40.
All right, Carlisle. Well, we all love Halloween for the decorations and the candy, right? Well, unfortunately, your pet might enjoy that too. Halloween can be a difficult time for pet owners, especially if your furry friends like to get into the things they shouldn't. Overall, it's unsafe for your pet to have any human candy. That's chocolate, which can cause a lot of GI problems and chocolate toxicity. Artificial sweeteners and sugar-free candy can contain xylitol, which is also poisonous to our animals. One local veterinarian says just have it out of sight as much as possible.
If you have animals in the house, I would definitely make sure it stays out of reach. So if you have dogs, keep it up on a high shelf so they can't jump up on there. With cats, maybe put it in a cupboard.
Dr. Johnson also says to consider keeping your candy in a container that you can secure and maybe shop around for holiday-themed pet treats so your pet can safely enjoy the spooky season too. According to the doctor, the amount makes the poison when it comes to animals, so maybe a lick of a chocolate bar isn't enough for a vet call. But if you're ever concerned, you can always call Animal Poison Control. Another fall favorite is happening this weekend, but organizers are working to add a little bit of a twist. This may thrill you. Scare on the Square is happening Saturday in downtown Bowling Green. The day will feature a kids costume contest, local businesses passing out candy, a movie at the Soki Marketplace, and a performance at the Capitol Theater. A thrilling new addition is a flash mob, of course, performing to Michael Jackson's classic song Thriller. The dancing starts at 6 on Saturday. However, if you'd like to practice those scary good dance moves before then, there's a way to do that.
The flash mob dance is going to be a Thriller. Is going to be at the end of Scare on the Square, and there's going to be a practice over here at One Roof, where they're going to be practicing their Michael Jackson. Come out here, practice your Thriller, because it's a thriller.
The rehearsal will take place from 3 to 5 this Thursday at One Roof event space on Fountain Square. To learn more about what else Scare on the Square will offer, tune in to News 40 Sunrise tomorrow morning. Metcalfe County students took a field trip today, a tractor ride to Metcalfe County High School's very own corn maze. News 40 reporter Tucker Covey was there and has the story.
Metcalfe County students tour a corn maze run by the high school each year to learn about the importance of farming. Even for a rural area like Metcalfe County, there are fewer farmers than there used to be, but they remain important.
Most students are 3 generations, probably 4 generations now, removed from production agriculture. And we live in a very rural area, and it is very important for students to understand where their food comes from and to at least have an appreciation for those people that are working every day to feed us.
The maze allows students to directly engage with the world around them and to see how food is grown. It also allows them to interact with their peers and high schoolers who have completed projects related to agriculture.
Experiential learning is always the best kind, and so our kids have been working on this for about a month, basically right at the start of school. For me, it's just great to see kids learning in the classroom, but then being able to transfer it outside of the classroom and be able to teach younger people what they've been doing in class and talking about plants and agriculture and just anything living.
For the high schoolers, it is a chance for them to pass on what they have learned both in the classroom and out to a younger generation.
I'm actually in an agri-science class, and agriculture is extremely important to me, and I've also always been really interested in teaching. So it's really an honor to be able to work with the kids, and I get so much joy from seeing them walk through the corn maze and all the education they get on different topics in agriculture and science.
In Metcalfe County, because local matters, Tucker Covey, WNKY News 40.
Thank you, Tucker. Well, you've probably noticed the leaves starting to take over our yard. Starting next Monday, the city will start loose leaf pickup. It's a service that the Public Works Department is happy to offer the residents of Bowling Green. It's to keep the roads safe and the drains clean. They'll be making their way through the 10 zones already set up for snow clearing. And if you need to know when they'll be in your neighborhood, you can go to the website at the bottom of your screen, enter your address. Just make sure that you're on time for when they come by.
You can pull your address up and say we're going to be there on Monday the 30th. We'll also be there on Monday the 31st. So what that means is you need to have your leaves out to the road by Monday the 30th, not Monday or Tuesday the 31st, because those 2 days are for us to get everything done.
The city will start collecting leaves next Monday and will continue into February. This service is only for residents. No businesses are eligible. Public Works also asks that you only leave your leaves out, no limbs or garbage, and that your pile is on the curb away from fire hydrants and other vehicles. Well, a big day in Bowling Green tomorrow with the Hilltoppers facing off against the Liberty Flames and a country music star coming to town. The Hilltoppers will kick off the evening with a pregame concert from Jordan Davis on South Lawn. You can arrive as early as 4 o'clock for the festivities. The concert will start at 5. South Lawn is expected to be filled with WKU fans, but officials tell us they are hoping to see many people from the Bowling Green community out.
It's important that we do things that are not just for the WKU community, but also for the Bowling Green community as well. And so I think this is a really good opportunity to kind of bridge those two things together with some world-class entertainment and some really competitive football after that.
The free concert will last until 6 o'clock. Kickoff for that game will follow at 6:30. Let's check in now with Weather Chief Chris Allen. Chris, hopefully some nice weather for that tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be great weather, I think, for that, the concert and the game tomorrow evening. At least we won't have to deal with the temperatures we did this morning when some of you started like 34 up in Litchfield, 35 in Campbellsville, 34 in Morgantown, and there was some patchy frost out there this morning. But we're going to warm things up. In fact, it's going to stay relatively warm again tomorrow. 75 is where we ended up today. We may end up a couple of degrees warmer than that for tomorrow, so everything is looking good for that. And of course, the big football game on the Hill. In fact, Patrick's standing in the way right now with a preview of sports. Hey, Patrick.
Hey there, Chris. We have plenty coming up in sports tonight, including the game tomorrow night. But first, learn more about one Warren Central Dragon who will be a critical piece to WKU basketball's future. The Dragons are coming off a state championship run last season, and Tops head coach Steve Lutz has seen all that he needs. Plus, we have a recap of the 4th Region Volleyball Tournament. That's all coming up in sports. Morgan.
All right, Patrick, in health news now, most adults in the U.S. recognize a lump as a potential warning sign of breast cancer, but less than half can identify most of the other red flags associated with the disease. Tonight, 5 inflammatory breast cancer signs you may not know about. It's rare but aggressive, and early detection of inflammatory breast cancer could mean the difference between life and death.
By the time we catch an inflammatory breast cancer, 1/3 of patients will already have metastatic disease, meaning that the cancer has spread outside of the breast and lymph node areas.
Because of that, survival rates are generally not as high for inflammatory breast cancer as they are for other types of the disease. This form of cancer doesn't often start with a lump and may not show up on a mammogram, according to the American Cancer Society. There are 5 different signs and symptoms to watch out for: an orange peel-like texture or dimpling of skin, feeling of heaviness, tightening of the skin, engorgement of the breast, and an infection-like redness or swelling.
Many physicians don't even think of it as breast cancer signs or symptoms, and patients will often get multiple rounds of antibiotics before they ever get to a breast biopsy.
Dr. Sachin Jawar with Ohio State's Comprehensive Cancer Center says if you notice any of these signs, to see a doctor who's aware of this form of disease immediately.
So the patient can get appropriate workup with imaging and biopsy. That's the most important thing.
The American Cancer Society says inflammatory breast cancer tends to happen in younger women under the age of 40. It appears to develop more often in black women than in white women and is more common among women who are overweight or obese. Well, still to come on News 40 at 10. With no other place to go, nearly 200 reports of foster kids forced to sleep in state offices, state parks, even hospital emergency rooms. How the state is addressing this foster care crisis in just a bit. But first, Weather Chief Chris Allen is back with a full look at our forecast. That's coming up next.
You never know who you're helping by sharing your story. And like people think y'all look alike.
You can be our son.
I love Jennifer. Weekdays at 2 on NBC 40.
I'm Tommy Modesto. Coming up tomorrow on News 40 Sunrise, find out how you can celebrate the Day of the Dad right here in Bowling Green. Plus, find out what the Pike Queen of Bowling Green has cooking up for this week's edition of Pike Queen's Pantry. These stories only on News 40 Sunrise.
I'm attorney Deborah Brose. I am committed to my clients across South Central Kentucky. But don't just take it from me. If you have any trouble receiving Social Security benefits, call our office today for a free consultation.
I'm a nurse and a single mom of 5 kids. Budgets get tight, especially with costs right now. But Andy Bashir crossed party lines to cut the income tax, putting more money in the pockets of families like mine. It'll make life easier for me and for so many other Kentuckians. Governor Bashir really cares about people, and it shows. He puts the needs of working families first, and it's making a real difference in people's lives.
As someone who also works in real estate, I could do a cost analysis of your home to help you determine if you have enough equity to use towards those assisted living costs.
Call Pathways today to be better informed to make better choices.
WNKY News 40 is always on at WNKY.com.
Name something with a diamond in it.
Diamondback rattlesnake.
It's in the name. Name a low-calorie food you might make your edible underwear out of.
Salmon.
Watch it weeknights. Share it the next day.
Wild caught Norwegian teriyaki.
Sharing the fun.
Weeknights at 5 and 6:30 on CBS 40.
We're back with Weather Chief Chris Allen on what's been a very nice Monday.
Yeah, it was beautiful with sunshine. We had some high clouds. Temperatures got into the mid-70s. We're going to, I call them summer leftovers because we've got 70s all this week, and then we're going to see a big cool down the closer we get to Halloween. Or shall I say a ghoul down.
Boo.
Okay. Thanks. I'll still be here the rest of the show. Maybe not afterwards. Much cooler next week. That's what I'm trying to show you here and trying to say. As we do head toward Halloween, colder air will be coming in from our northwest and start to overtake much of Kentucky. The warm air will still be down to our south and east, but eventually the cold air is going to win out. So as you get ready to go trick-or-treating next Tuesday, a week from tomorrow, we will be much colder. In fact, probably the coldest shot of air, Arctic air, that we have seen so far this fall season. And you'll be able to know by the numbers just how cold it's going to get, as I'll show you in a minute. Temperatures right now, it all depends on the individual elevation of all the mesonet stations. So you can go from down near the river in Cumberland County, the Cumberland River, where it's 41 right now, but you can go up the road to Edmonton and it's 60 right now, and it's going to be that way all night long. But everybody should average warmer tonight in the 50s. No more 30s and no more frost advisories coming for the next several nights. Temperatures right now, or the dew points right now, are in the 40s and a few 50s. This is generally going to go up as we go through time because we're going to get a little bit more higher dew points, therefore a little bit more humidity in the air over the next couple of days. It's 57 right now with a calm wind and the barometer rising at 30.15. And the dew point is at 47. High pressure in control of our weather. More of a southeasterly wind here over the next couple of days, which is naturally going to warm us up. And tomorrow, like today, we'll see a few scattered clouds, but no rain anytime soon. Rain is something we could use, but it's not in the forecast, not until later this weekend. All the rain right now is going to be in the Central Plains and parts of the Midwest and down the Mississippi River. But again, nothing here. This is Wednesday morning early. More of a southerly wind takes over. Scant amount of showers trying to work in here, but high pressure is going to win this competition between high pressure and low pressure. So any kind of rain that tries to make a run at us, it's just going to get stalled out and it's going to get backstopped back to the west and not even come this way. 53 tonight, partly cloudy and much milder with that south wind at 8. And then tomorrow for the big blackout on the hill, as Western takes on Liberty, 77. It should be a good day. Warm and toasty Wednesday and Thursday, near 80. And then we'll start to see some scattered rain chances, but still warm as we head into the weekend. Notice by Monday, we start to cool down. It's going to get even colder than that as we head into Halloween. And we're back with more News 40 at 10 in just a moment.
Just rockin' and rollin', baby. Cut back tomorrow.
We got you all fixed up. Got it all fixed up for you, man.
Let there be light, ma'am.
Looks like she finally called JB.
Prepare your child for a bright future by exploring fun at the Bourne Learning Trails.
1,
Each Born Learning Trail has a series of 10 interactive signs that offer fun and active learning activities for young children and their families.
Fly around and tweet, tweet.
United Way of Southern Kentucky invites you to explore a free trail near you today. Visit uwsk.org for a full list of park locations and to learn more. Happy trails!
Have big dreams for your space? When looking for home decor ideas, you want BG Home Furnishings.
BG Home Furnishings designers are here to bring your dream home to life with one-on-one design help. Personalized advice from the best has never been this easy, accessible, and valuable. The BG at Home team handpicks from over 100 brands to create a selection of furniture and home decor that is tailored to your style.
Call us today to set up your free in-home design consultation.
As Joe Biden destroys our economy, Andy Bashir defends him.
I don't want to be critical of what the president's doing, because at least he's trying. We at least ought to give the president some kudos.
And a big thanks also to Governor Andy Bashir.
He's trying to help us.
Biden's bankrolling Bashir's re-election, funneling $250,000 in donations. Bashir and Biden, or Trump and Daniel Cameron. Trump's choice, our champion. Club for Growth Action is responsible for the content of this ad.
Nearly 200 times since last July, kids under the state's care have been forced to sleep in state offices, at state parks, or in hospital emergency rooms because the state had nowhere to put them. Reporter Mark Stevens has a more detailed picture of the problem and says facilities across the state are rejecting kids.
What are we doing? Come over here.
This summer, Marysville police found a 16-year-old walking on the bridge to Ohio with his backpack and sleeping bag.
What are we running for? Huh?
They're trying to charge me.
Charge you with what?
He had run away from the state social services offices a block from the base of the bridge. He didn't want to go back.
Can you just let me go?
No, I can't let you go.
After a struggle, officers cuffed him, put him in the car, and brought him back to the government building, where state workers confirmed to police the boy was in big trouble.
And that's when I ain't going back. They're trying to charge me with raping.
Because he's admitted to it. He's admitted to raping a 12-year-old at his foster house.
We don't know officially what happened next to the boy. Those records are confidential. But state records obtained by the Wave News troubleshooters show a 16-year-old boy spent 15 days living and sleeping in this office building during this exact time frame. This body camera video provides a rare look at the crisis Kentucky is facing.
They can't put him in any facilities? No, because he's been turned down all over the state. And now that he's got a possible sexual crime, they can't put him anywhere where there's a female.
These records show foster children in the state's care have had to sleep in state offices, hospitals, or state parks with social workers with them nearly 200 times since July of 2022, when the state began tracking this issue. On average, kids will sleep in what the state calls a non-traditional placement for 4 nights, although half stayed less than 2. The kids are typically teens. The average age is about 15. But a 2-year-old was the youngest to spend a night in an office in Prestonburg. Kids have slept at the L&N building in downtown Louisville 17 times. One child spent 6 nights sleeping at the Barren River State Park Lodge, but state workers told the judge in one case the lake presents a safety hazard to kids who may want to hurt themselves. Nearly 30 times, kids have been forced to sleep in hospital emergency rooms, even though they were not patients. One hospital spokesperson told me, "Our facility has provided accommodations while a state guardian is with them at all times." But by far, the state's main alternative is an office.
Well, one of y'all, when we go back up, stay with us for a little bit. I want to give him his night medicines enough. That makes him pass out.
Is this an appropriate setting for foster children?
No, and we've had this conversation for well over a year.
Republican State Senator Julie Rocky Adams says these kids need a higher level of care, but because they do, foster homes and state contracted facilities reject them for being too difficult. Social workers will make hundreds of calls trying to find a place to send their foster child with no luck.
The kids that are in state care that kind of need that extra support and extra counseling, don't have a place to go.
Facilities that are already under contract with the state, should they have the ability to reject kids?
They are providing care for the kids that they have been certified to care for. This is a higher level of care that is required.
Right now, we don't have the capacity to adequately meet the needs that these young people represent.
Kentucky Youth Advocates Director Terry Brooks says the state shouldn't force kids into programs that can't handle them, that would disrupt treatment for other kids in the state's care. He says the state needs to invest more in specialized programs and people to treat these kids. Translation, more expensive care.
And we're going to have to talk turkey during that budget session. It's one thing for a lawmaker or the administration to say we really care about these kids. It's another thing to put dollars where your rhetoric is.
The Cabinet for Health and Family Services ignored our request to interview Secretary Eric Friedlander, but he last told state lawmakers in July, kids sleeping in state offices is unacceptable.
This is a tragedy. It's a tragedy.
His staff said they tried offering more money to people willing to treat these kids, but it didn't work. Now the state has asked for companies to provide some type of program to treat up to 24 kids with the toughest cases.
We can't be that state. These are kids. These are kids.
Meanwhile, the kids who find themselves in limbo.
Are we staying here for the evening? You running again?
Will continue to find themselves sleeping in conditions like this.
See you in the morning.
Well, stay with us. News 40's Patrick Carey is in with a look at sports after this.
With the Sonic 2 for $7 deal, you can choose from 3 delicious favorites for only $7. A Sonic cheeseburger, chicken sandwich, or a foot-long chili cheese coney. It might be the greatest pairing since cherry and limeade. Sonic 2 for $7 deal.
Join the WNKY News 40 weather team. Visit WNKY.com to become a weather watcher.
On behalf of the Bowling Green Area Chamber of Commerce, we'd like to welcome our newest partners. We'd like to encourage you to support all of our partners at the Bowling Green Area Chamber of Commerce.
I'm a nurse and a single mom of 5 kids. Budgets get tight, especially with costs right now. But Andy Beshear crossed party lines to cut the income tax, putting more money in the pockets of families like mine. It'll make life easier for me and for so many other Kentuckians. Governor Beshear really cares about people, and it shows. He puts the needs of working families first, and it's making a real difference in people's lives.
Enjoy a great lunch with a different food truck every week and help support our local charities.
Join us for Food Truck Fridays at the Tidballs parking lot on Chestnut Street. Part of your lunch purchase will be donated to a local nonprofit by Flora Templeton Stewart and our food trucks.
Food Truck Friday has collected over $10,000, making a difference in our community.
Brought to you by the law firm of Flora Templeton Stewart.
Name an animal the wife doesn't mind her husband calling her.
Piggy.
Don't do that.
Family Feud. Weeknights at 5 and 6:30.
Right now, Sonic's small hand mix shakes are $1.99 all day. It sells itself, so I'll just list flavors in my sexy voice. Chocolate, strawberry, peanut butter. $1.99 small classic shakes all day at Sonic.
Welcome into sports. We start on the court for some high school volleyball tonight. The 4th region volleyball tournament started in Barron County High School's gym. The Purples won in 3 straight sets over ACS, while Logan County advanced past Clinton County. These 2 teams will square off on Wednesday in the semifinals of the tournament. Meanwhile, WKU volleyball was back in action this past weekend. The Tops swept the Sam Houston Bearcats in both matchups as they rapidly approached the 20th win of the season. Paige Briggs was named Conference USA Player of the Week after a historic weekend. Head coach Travis Hudson is very excited about reaching their annual historic milestone.
You know, we're in that stretch. We got 6 left.
We're in, first place with a 3-game lead with 6 to go. I love where we are. I'm proud of our kids, and just looking forward to keeping moving in the right direction.
Well, over in Virginia, the WKU soccer team took on Liberty. The 6-3-7 Tops beat the 13-2-1 Flames in shutout fashion. The 1-0 victory allowed WKU to hop the Flames, placing the Tops in second throughout the Conference USA. They will play the #1 team in the standings, New Mexico State, this Friday at 6 p.m. at the WKU Soccer Complex. And some big news on the Hill. A former state champion will be a new face in the WKU basketball program. Cade Unseld officially committed to WKU earlier this morning. Unseld was a leader for the state champion Warren Central boys basketball team. He will join Steve Lutz and WKU next fall for the 2024-25 season. Well, WKU football is preparing for Liberty tomorrow night at 6:30 p.m. The Tops are coming off a loss to Jacksonville State on the road, where they scored 0 points in the second half. Head coach Tyson Helton talked about the importance of being prepared for the current top team in Conference USA.
Give them a lot of credit. I mean, they set the bar for the conference currently this football season. #1 offense in the conference, #1 defense in the conference. Are playing great football. Extremely well coached football team. Coach Chadwell does a fantastic job, and his staff does as well. But it's anybody's race. It's anybody's race, and we're right in the thick of this thing.
And it's time for many teams to come off the bye week. First off, Jeff Brom's Louisville Cardinals return to action against one of the top teams in the ACC. The 18th ranked Cards will host the 20th ranked Duke Blue Devils. That matchup is set for 2:30 p.m. this Saturday. And for the Cats, they will be facing the Tennessee Volunteers this Saturday at 6 p.m. Of course, one of the biggest rivalries in college football will be renewed. The Cats are coming off a loss to Missouri before taking off the week. That game will be kicking off at 6 p.m. on Saturday. And finally, the Tennessee Titans will face the Atlanta Falcons this Sunday. You can catch all the action on CBS 40 this Sunday. The team may be out without starting quarterback Ryan Tannehill. The Titans also traded Kevin Byard to the Eagles today for 2 late-round picks and Terrell Edmonds. The Titans have now traded 2 major pieces to the team's roster to the Eagles in the last few seasons, the other being A.J. Brown. Well, that's a look at sports. We'll be right back.
The $250,000 Mega Draw is here at the Mint Gaming Hall Bowling Green. Win by matching just one number and match all 6 for $250,000 cash. Drawing Saturdays in October every hour from 5 to 8 p.m. Only at the Mint Gaming Hall Bowling Green.
Is your search for a new home on hold because of high interest rates and high monthly payments? Jago Homes has your solution with a low 4.99 fixed interest rate and no energy bills for 2 years. You'll enjoy open, spacious living, and your family will be comfortable year-round with exclusive Energy Smart technology. Learn why a new Jago home is more affordable than you think at jagohomes.com. Because life is too precious to be put on hold.
Pathways will help find the perfect senior living facility for you and will guide you in the right direction for your future. Call Pathways today so you'll be better informed and therefore be able to make better choices.
Hey y'all, it's Bree with the Pie Queen's Pantry. Join me this week and we're gonna talk about Halloween fun treats. We're gonna be making my mummy fudge hand pies. See you this week on the Pie Queen's Pantry.
Greatness starts with a strong tradition, powered by a fierce work ethic, a spirit of remarkable innovation, and unmatched leadership that spans generations. Find your greatness in a Ford F-Series truck, America's best-selling trucks, 46 years straight. Now get 3.9% for 60 months plus $22.50 bonus cash plus $1,000 trade assist on a 2023 F-150. Only at your local Ford dealer.
WNKY News 40 is always on at WNKY.com.
The $250,000 Mega Draw is here at the Mint Gaming Hall Bowling Green. Win by matching just one number and match all 6 for $250,000 cash. Drawing Saturdays in October every hour from 5 to 8 p.m. Only at the Mint Gaming Hall Bowling Green.
Well, it's almost Halloween, so you know what that means. Candy. Oh, wow. You're so good.
What
Look
a
at
great
that.
guess.
Wow. Well, they've released the most popular candies nationwide.
Number 3 is a joke.
Yeah, well, listen to this. The most popular, especially here in the Bluegrass State, was Reese's Peanut Butter Cups,
Yes.
which makes sense.
Yes.
I'm buying all of them. I love Reese's Cups. But then they're
Always
followed
good.
by hot tamales and Swedish fish.
What? Not here for the Swedish fish slander. Always good.
It's a little
But hot
surprising.
tamales, what are we doing?
I don't know. And they say candy corn's making a comeback. I'm not into that either.
Really? Is that even a real food? Candy corn?
Yeah.
This is,
Yes,
Well,
it
it's
is
a
actually.
it's got to be wax.
I always eat my veggies
It's
when
just
I have candy
colored
corn.
wax. All right, here's a look at the forecast. Tonight, only down in the 50s. Tomorrow, for game day on the hill, blackout. 77. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be warm, though.
Yeah, it'll be nice. All right, guys, thank you so much. Thank you at home for joining us tonight. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning starting at 6 a.m.